Les bangra m'enflammer pour le cœur, le motago. Dina Saint-Étienne, tu vous abonnes. Les bangra chemins, breven peignet. Et mis au bête, chamberlain, Anusa, Amofi, Alele Bupala. Wanda ina giriji mbajunle. Miesi ya tenjiji ale mbingu. Ingami sendio mwenwe. Ma pele bare ina sentendanga kwa bonje bebalo se te chenga bafu mole bantemi abele yaleza ale fambin man kote njabandunwe mole bantemi abele yaleza ale fanjogwi ten kwansambe mole bantemi abele liraleza bim for Cameroon ngome vivole mole bantemi abele liraleza nyatme lungse be fole totagie mole bantemi abele liraleza be kanlosie be tioleje laga mole bantemi abele liraleza bangilos yen bashun beta gabe mole bantemi abele liraleza bebo botembo endan kwenwe mole bantemi abele liraleza bebo botembo endan kwenwe mole bantemi abele liraleza.
Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to yet another interesting and educative edition of your favorite program, The Voice, here with us at GASA Media. My name is Gillette Atemkeng, your host. In today's program, we'll be presenting to you an editorial to uncover some of the stories that we have been investigating on, as well as we are going to be talking about the role of local communities, as well as the role of cultural and development organizations and the effects of insecurity in some developmental projects. And of course, we are going to give some recommendations for the benefit of the community. We will equally be highlighting on some of our findings that we have made over the week and we have not been able to discuss on. So joining me from the US will be my collaborator, the great director of GASA Media, in the person of Dr. Ernest Kumba. Doctor, we are very honored to have you in the program today.
Yes, Gilles, thank you for having me. Good morning to our viewers. It's early morning time here in the US. It's about 8:24 or 8:30 right now, Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, thank you so much. And let's just go straight to the point. We have been reporting a lot of events recently, and from every indication, there is a shift from reporting just on cultural issues to focus more on developmental issues. I hope you have noticed it. So in your own opinion, why is it a shift at this particular point in time?
Not totally a shift per se, but sometimes you also need to recognize that the way activity happens in various community happen per season. Like here in the US, during the summertime, you have mostly cultural event, fundraising, event, those kind of activity, which is kind of the rainy season in Cameroon where things seems to be dormant. Then now, around this time when we hit towards the winter, where most people are indoor in the snow time in Cameroon, then that is when you have activities, project going on. And so you kind of see that there's a shift where in the diaspora, there's a fundraising, then back home, there's development activities going on. So you kind of see that there's this kind of changes going on. Of course, we have covered uh, different from cultural to kind of investigating, focusing on some of the key issues. So we've been doing it. So it's not a totally change, but it's just the nature in which activity happen in our communities.
Yeah, talking about investigation, I think you have really brought in some key persons here in the studio. You have brought in the mayor, you have brought in a journalist in the person of Mr. Agendia Aloysius. You have brought in even the founder of Nkele Bank, in the person of Mbembo Ale. I mean, launching a lot of investigation here and there. And I
Yes.
think that Lebang people are mobilizing and mobilizing. Everybody is like very active in some of these discussions. Why, in your opinion, do you think that they are so active, especially at this point in time?
Let me first state this. In terms of, say, investigation in journalism, in the field of media, we have been doing this for a very long time. I remember around 2022, that was about 2 years ago when we investigated the disappearance of 120 million francs CFA by Mr. John Fongang, money that was destined for the BLM Youth for Agriculture. That up to this point, we don't know exactly what happened. He has never returned our call. We have also, I mean, the misappropriation of 148,000 money that was destined for Jenachek people that was given by the Kudu. So, we have been reporting on this. Even here in the US, we have followed up most of these organizations, Legda, Lukudu, we have been kind of reporting, finding out from them what they do in community. Shifting back to our people, I think the problem that our community or the masses is that they do not have maybe quick access to internet to able to really watch the news, know exactly some of the story that Gaza media is presenting out there. And for that reason, if you don't have information, you cannot get lost. But people in the diaspora, they kind of already know the work of Gaza media. But I think there's a little bit of a shift where people can now have access to internet. They can watch some of the clip. And that's why sometimes we do compress news to about 2 minutes and put it on WhatsApp so that people can watch and begin to engage in some of what is happening. And in terms of people having to awaken, I think there is some kind of, I'm glad that the grassroots media, which that Gaza media stands for grassroots media, so that people now are now engaging, sending me information that this is what is happening in our community and stuff like that. And you see people coming online, trying to air their voice, something that we have been wanting that it should happen. I think it's a change in what we do here at Gaza Media. Sorry, for some reason, our anchor got disconnected from the studio. So we really apologize for that. We'll try to reconnect her again. Please just stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Yes, we're sorry for the
Sorry,
technical
director.
hitching.
Sorry so
Yes,
much,
yeah.
dear viewers, for the technical failure. Machines are humanly made and they can fail us at any time. So I'm so sorry about that. Yes, director, we're talking about the active nature of Lebang people. At this point in time, when it comes to developmental projects, and I was like asking you that some people that are directly connected to this project are looking at it as if we are doing something that is unusual by hitting so hard on them, investigating issues, and so on. Why some others are giving their genuine opinions, forcing everything through so that this project must be realized. What do you think?
Yes,
What's your opinion on this?
yeah, people will definitely have different opinions when you report news, no matter how fair you are. But the fact remains the facts. That, for example, if you will see a
A lawyer by profession.
uncompleted building that is there, there is no doubt to say that is not a completed building. So the question we're asking is, what happened that this building is left uncompleted? No matter whatever people think, somebody left it that way. Whatever may have happened may be genuine, that he wasn't able to complete it, maybe due to insecurity, maybe due to negligence. But once you do the finding, you show that that is what is happening. That is the genuine truth. Maybe the person may not feel very comfortable, but that is what is actually happening. And there's not much we can do, no matter how much you may say, oh, Gaza media, you are following all, you are doing this and that. But that is just the honest truth. And there's nothing you can change about that. So that's all I can say, that our investigation will definitely lead us to where the findings would do. There have been so many other projects, not just the Minji Council project. There are many other projects, even non-governmental organizations. We have been doing this, just that people have not paid attention, or people have not been listening to our reporting. When we follow up the Kudu USA, for example, when we follow Legda USA and report on the activities that they were doing, when we said, when, for example, I think it was 2 years ago, when Legda USA disbursed about maybe 600,000 CFA for the medical student in Douala to go carry out a health campaign in Chang, we follow up that reporting. In course of doing that reporting, you are also showing accountability and transparency, that if this money was disbursed, was it properly used for that purpose that it intended? Even my own friend, Pascal Etendem, when I'm sending him communique, he was calling me and said, hey, Ernest, you are acting like you are a police officer. I said, no, it's just the nature of the job. So we've been doing that, so it is not new. Thank you.
Okay, so talking about money being properly used for the project, let's look at this Mbindia hospital or medical care. When we hear the amount of money that was allocated for this particular project, and we look at what is on ground, what the groundwork that have been done, the rehabilitation, is nowhere close to the amount. I think they made mention of 20 million francs CFA. I think it was for two hospitals, Dungwe Hospital and the Mbindia Hospital. So, in your opinion, Director, do you really think that that amount of money can repair the hospital just at that level where we saw it?
There are many factors to take in here, and this is where I really encourage our viewer, I really encourage the bank people, especially where this community or where this hospital is located in their community, to actively engage in this project, right? For example, Mbinde Development Association, the chief of Mbinde from Mbinde should be engaged in this kind of community activity, what is going on. What I understood is, first, the crisis, right? For someone to even go there and do work during that time is very delicate. You may go in, rush, You may have to settle people that you don't used to settle if things are normal. On both sides, as they used to call it, that is part of the game that you have to play to go do this project. Another factor that I think the mayor have explained, that I have also, Dick, you are in Cameroon, you may not be very knowledgeable about this, is that even when they say a project of 20 million is located for 2 hospitals, you split it, say 10 million. The taxes, I think Romanos even explained yesterday that the tax is up to about 50%, 30% taxes or whatever, their profit margin of 12% or to 20, they amount to 50% of that money. So you are left with 5 million, for example, the one in Bindia. So now you go now, then that's where you start buying material or you start doing whatever thing, the unforeseen circumstances, whatever happened. Until, I think another point is the job description that is in the contract that we do not know as of now. This contract specify that, what does this contract specify that you do? Rehabilitation of a hospital means a lot. Maybe repairing the roof, maybe just cleaning the outside, maybe painting the walls, maybe building an additional building, maybe changing the infrastructure, maybe making it an IT service hospital, whatever it may be, right? We do not know. So, but the people say they did what they did. We take it by their word. If the community want to be sure, then there's a proper channel through which they can have that contract and get it. But I want to think that our people have a blame, and I must say it equivocally, very clear, that the bank people, that this project, if you're listening to me right now, that this project that is located in your community, you really need to be part of the game. You really need to know what is happening in your community. You really need to engage your community so that if somebody can want to do a project, engage that person in the friendly way. You are not fighting war. We are not fighting war. Either it's government contract or community, the people will come and do and lead this hospital in your community. It is up to the Mbindia people to step in and help in this rehabilitation of this hospital. When I look at the images, there are people living in that community. They leave it to our grown that the government should come and clear. Which government, if I may ask, in that situation? Who is the councillor from that area? I saw one Mr. Eric is a councillor from India. He should engage his community, right? And say, hey, let's clean this hospital, let's do this. But the story does not just end there, because I've also engaged the conversation with the nurse who was deployed or who was appointed there, and I'm in communication with her. She's willing to collaborate because, according to what the news that we got, as you have heard as well, the rehabilitation phase is done. The medical equipment has been sent to Chang. The mayor informed me that there's a procedure of channeling all those now. Sometimes we do not even know. So when the medical equipment has to go to the district officer, the medical district officer for Fontaine South Division, who will be the person to inspect those things and hand it over to the nurse. And that nurse informed me that she has collected the item. They are in her keeping in Chang. If time permit, we may have an interview. So she's saying that she cannot go maybe and stay in that kind of environment alone. That the community need to engage. They need to clean the area. They need to clean the place. They need to clear the grasses around so that snake or animals or whatever cannot come in. They need to dry clean the place and make it look like a hospital or like a clinic. Then to welcome somebody in and work with that person together, no matter whether somebody is receiving a salary or not. I will say this again. The person is there to help, especially in the health field. The person is there to help you. If you are sick, you go there, you receive treatment. Yes, they are being paid by the state, but they are also helping. So people should understand this. People should not just say, hey, and I hope that the misinformation sometime too is out there, that if people are not very sure of what is happening, they should ask, they should make inquiry, an honest inquiry without bashing maybe the mayor or the council. But I'm not saying the council has not done or anything that is not unfair. If they are not completed a project, people request for the information, come forward and explain to them with an open mind. We are not in the court of law, right? Even if when you go to the court of law, you still need to explain to the judge. So there's no need sitting back. I think the idea of withholding information is what is causing the outcry that you see that in the Caliban, people come in, you open that WhatsApp, when you get up in the morning, you have over 200 messages. How are you going to listen to that? People are just kind of frustrated and end their view. But I caution that they should be patient. Yeah, it's a freedom place. Let people talk and send out some of the energy. You know, when you have energy, you can either send that energy by crying or by laughing. So whatever happens, that energy has to come out in one way or the other. So let them vomit their mind out. But I think the message is out. People are responding, but I just think that our people should be very, very actively engaged when they come in to build a project. Should not think that that is somebody else. And I want to advise our people that make a phone call whenever somebody comes to the community, to any village and do any project. If you don't know, call a brother, call somebody that you know who is maybe outside in town and say, hey, this thing is going on here. And this community service or community development cultural organization should be actively participating in some of those projects too as well and know exactly what is going on in their village. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, talking about people's frustration, I was just like looking at the water project, the non-flow of water in the capital city of Fontem, Menji, and people are really, really very frustrated. Yes, they failed in the area of getting engaged when these contracts were allocated to the contractors. So, in your opinion, what should be the way out at this point in time?
I mean, people will have different opinion. People will suggest. Sometimes I hardly even want to give an opinion because I don't want to shape any discussion or any direction. But I think that uh, the people should come out because there have been a lot of discrepancy in information. That they started saying this. We reported, we covered those stories. We reported on it that the mayor said this. They find out that it was this. They have accused this contractor. The people also need to know that those work was done when it was at the peak of maybe the crisis, where bullets were flying, like, you know. So people need to be conscious of that. It was not like in the very ambiance atmosphere where everything is normal and standard. No, it was in a different, but that does not totally give an excuse because somebody will argue that if you accepted to go in that kind of condition to do that work, therefore you have to deliver. But I think people really need water. And like the mayor said, when he came to US, we had an interview. He said soonest. It's been over 4 months, right? But now they say the issue of rains is they cannot transfer material from Chang to Menji to finish the work. But still, yeah, people are still angry. People really need to know. But I think the people can come forward and just explain and say, look, this is what happened. We did this thing in good faith, but unforeseen happened. The issue that is bubbling is people are not willing to come forward. Then people think that you are hiding something, which may not necessarily be the case. You just need to say, hey, this is what is happening. Like I was talking about the nurse that I spoke to. She has communicated with me. She said, yeah, she will create time and talk with me. She left me a voicemail, so she will create time and discuss with me. I said, yeah, I always want to hear two sides of the story. People, the news is you have abandoned this clinic and you are somewhere in Chang operating a pharmacy. Yeah, I know that she has a small store that she sell her thing, but she has small drugs that she put around, like what we call medicine store or pro pharmacy. That's what she described to me. I said, whatever the case, you have the material. I said, I mean, in that kind of manner, you explain. You have even heard of cases, but this is one other thing that is also a little bit frustrating. That there are some people that have finished their contracts that have not been paid up to today, as we are speaking, and the people have said it with testimony. yeah, with testimony that they did the contract, it was inspected up to there was a lady that she was explaining. Now I don't even have the audio yet to play for our listener to hear. So yeah, if I had to, I can put it on that she had done everything up to the point where she went to the treasury, then somebody have signed her money. She said she know her signature. So you see, in that, where do people keep their conscience when somebody does that? So you see, there's just a lot going on. It's like the house is bubbling.
Exactly. Indeed, the house is bubbling, as you just said. You know, every attempt of Bimbo Alet to calm the situation down, to explain things, oh, this is what the mayor says, let's wait for dry season to come and let's see what is going to happen. Some people are even like thinking that Bimbo Alet is like taking sides already and they're accusing him. But his point of view is that the Lekudo and the I mean, like the fund and all the royal protocol, if I can put it that way, they should be able to take advantage and try to see how they can call these contractors to order. That is his own point of view. But in his attempt to do this, people do think that, oh, he's taking sides with the contractors who have not been able to finish this project. So, what do you think about this, Director?
I think it boils down to like you mentioned about the Kudu General President, His Majesty the Fount of Fontaine. Those are the kind of the main leaders in the bank that we know. Those kind of institutions, the traditional institution and the developmental arm of the bank, which is Lokudu, headed by the General President. So they were thinking that in this kind of situation, when the house is boiling like this, they ought to come out and make a statement, right? And calm the situation down and say,
Exactly.
okay, we will follow up these people. That is a culture that we have cultivated, that has happened to us in our community. I mean, our community, like in Cameroon, in Cameroon in general, and including the BLM and the Bang, where you hardly see people giving a press conference, our leaders, right? I don't want to get into the politics. You hardly see that. But that is what people want. Like, if something is happening, somebody should come up and explain. You realize that until Gaza media came to spotlight around 2019, 2022, many of the elite, when they do something, you only hear of news. People have not been really been interviewed to explain what is happening. The past mayors, the past leaders, they have hardly granted interview to local community until Dr. Nikasius Nkemason, the current mayor, sat with me in Maryland for about 30 minutes frontal back-to-back interview, then organize a mini town hall or whatever called a panel discussion. You were there. None of this elite, political elite, has ever done that. That is a change that is coming. A few group of elite have been managing the activities of the BLM, including the bank. And sometimes it's like they don't owe any person any explanation. We will do it the way that is good, the kind of top-down approach. But it's reversing. That is the
Exactly.
more now, is like the bottom that the masses want to participate. And I also want to underscore that with the advance of internet, with the advance of technology, right? The only shortcoming, like I said earlier, that our people are not having right now is the resources to buy data and have it on their gadget, on their cell phone, where they can begin to read news as we do here in the US. Like what you are seeing now, it will be tenfold what is happening right now. Because the news that we have reported on Gaza media, a lot of people do not even know about it. Because when I have time to listen to some of the messages, you see someone will be just saying something totally lost, something that have been discussed, something that we have reported and put the facts straight, that any person who have listened to that will know that, okay, this is where we are. So you get up one morning, maybe you struggle, you put data there, you send your own frustration. But I just think that gradually time is becoming where the political elite may not be able to contain. It's like the wind of change, where you see the masses now taking over what is happening that will hold the destiny to our hand. If these people are not willing to do it, we will take responsibility. If we call on the Kudu USA to stand up and write and be our representative, write to the authority that concern and say, let's have a copy of this contract, let's know what was happening. If they are not able to do it, you see, different committees, people will step up, different lawyers will step up and listen to a very learned doctor, barrister Everett Monfort. I think he's in Kemna, I don't know the other Kem name. He's well-respected barrister. I think you interviewed him during the artifacts. That's well-respected legal mind. He spoke, I mean, it was frightening that people should not think that they will go unpunished. Now the cat is out of the bag. You cannot contain it. People need to come forward and state their mind and say if they make some error, they apologize, they may forgive them and move forward. If they don't, then the legal procedure will continue. And don't be surprised, people can find themselves in a jail. Yeah.
Of course, justice must prevail. That is just it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about people not, yeah, talking about people not having enough money to load data to follow information. I think it should just be a matter of priority. Yeah, if people make it a priority to contribute to the well-being of their own community, I think they will do it. It's because they have not taken it as a matter of priority. Whatever you take as your priority, you go for it. It's because they have taken other things as a priority. Just to confirm to what you have earlier said, even this information that will be aired through Gaza media, it will be difficult for everybody to tell you. I mean, people from Lebanon to tell you, oh, I watched this, oh, I watched that. Sometimes you even meet with some of them and you want to interview them. Oh, what is your opinion on this? They are like, oh, I don't even know what is going on. But yet they are blaming this, they are blaming that. Why not follow the track of information to at least hold on to something and give your own opinion? Is very important. In the community we are living in today, we are enjoying it. It's thanks to some people like Mbimbale, who spearheaded and made sure that things were right in their place. But if everybody is, I don't care, oh, whatever is happening, I don't care. If everybody says, I don't care, then we will remain on the same spot. But come to think of it, Director, I think that many people are beginning to follow of the reportings of Gaza media. What do you think?
No, sure.
Especially
I
at this
think
point in time.
no, people now are beginning, even when we log online, I see people online, people are viewing us live here. Even after this, people will come back and continue
Okay.
to watch. Yeah, because they know that this now concern us. Because what people have discovered, like what I said is, if you hide information, right, I will not even know. People have constantly accused the government of neglecting. But just of recent, for the past month, you have seen the money that has been pumped into Minji through Minji Municipal Council to develop the Terrafondams, the Fontaine subdivision.
Exactly.
Then you will be amazed that if all of this, no matter they say we take off 50%, right? If you take off that 50%, I mean, there's much that could still be done. But you see, a few individuals, they just want to enrich themselves. They care less about the community. You know, we keep saying, oh, Yawunde, we keep saying this. But I think it's time is changing. People are now like, oh, I think we need to sit up and do something better. I hope that people should listen to the masses. I mean, people may accuse us, but they also need to understand that Gaza Media is a well-reputable organization. We have one of the finest, I mean, consultant and advisor to Gaza Media, somebody who has been in the media sphere for a very long time, not just longevity, but somebody who is able to follow up with the changes of media from analog to digital, what have you. Yeah, we really make sure that we toe the line, we maintain the ethic of journalism, we maintain the ethic of reporting, and try to be as fair as much as we can But I think people also need to know that I must say this, that we are the voice of the voiceless. If people that don't have a voice, we need to be their voice. If people are sending messages to me that is not well constructive, I stand there to say, what are you really saying? So they explain to me properly. Then I put it in the way that a larger audience will understand. If they are crying for something, we have the responsibility to say, hey, these people are crying for the hospital. People are crying for water, they don't have water. Like the guy who was in Nenji said, we don't have water here. Uh, I think I can even pull him up here so that people can see, like this man who was crying of water issue. This information came to us. We need to say it out, because if we don't say it, who is there to who will speak for him? These are the kind of things that I do. And the last point, that people also need to understand that Gaza Media is not a corporation. We do not pay allegiance to any corporation or to any political elite, because they don't sponsor us. Our sponsor are primarily individuals that maybe they ask us to do little advertisement for their business, they compensate or go cover events. And these are mostly kind of minority people stay as well. I mean, you are there in Cameroon, you do most of the work. When you travel to Yaoundé for the artifact coverage and many other events that you have traveled to, who is paying? Nobody is paying you for that. You merely spending your own time. Then why should you not say the truth when something happened? Why do you think that you favor somebody to gain what? It's not the case where somebody have tied your hand or somebody have chained you, where somebody give you money. Then now you cannot report against him or her because you have taken their money. Now, so we are free to report the news straight, because there's no gain in lying.
Of course, there is no gain in lying indeed. I was just about asking you that people are already criticizing our line of reporting, and you have just, given the response to that. And I
Yeah,
appreciate the response. Indeed, we are reporting from a very neutral standpoint. We don't stand to support anybody. We are non-political, we are non-governmental. So we just say whatever, we report whatever we see after we have investigated and we are sure that whatever we are sending out is credible. So there is no way we will just see any information and just send it on air on Gaza Media. It is not Gaza Media, of course. So yeah. Do you want to add any other thing on that point on people that are
no, no. I mean,
criticizing?
yeah, you really, no, you really score it. Like what I'm saying, like I'm calling on Mbindia people, until they step to the plate, their mouth the word Mbindia will remain on my lips. They have to step up, clear that hospital. It has been over a week since I started saying they should go clear that hospital. But at least one of the elite wrote to me and said he would make sure that he gathered people in the village to go and clear and clean this thing. I said, yeah, you need to do it. If
Oh,
you are
that's
pointing
great.
finger, if you are saying this nurse is not here, what have you done to make the place accommodable, to make the place a little bit hospitality for someone to live there and work and save you? Like I said, even though they are government workers, but they are there to save you. So receive them as family people, receive them as human beings, treat them with dignity. People will live in harmony in that kind of in small place like that. So don't neglect the building and it will collapse or whatever and let it outgrown with bushes. I mean, uh, that is not us. A community should not behave like that. And that is why, even though I stand for the minority, I stand for the less privileged, but I will also tell them when they are wrong.
Exactly. So it is more like you are saying that we should not keep blaming the community, what the community has not done for us. We should blame ourselves. What is our own personal contribution to the community? Is that what we are saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
Very, very good. So we are here, we are fighting for the community. Everybody has a role to play at any level. So director, please, let's talk about this new program of Gaza Media, The Voice. Can you enlighten us more about it?
Oh, yes, the voice, and every one time you are looking for innovation, you are looking for a possibility where people can come and maybe exchange idea, uh, where we can invite maybe even 4 people to come on air and maybe discuss on a particular topic. For example, right now, the issue of Lekudu, transformation of Lekudu to become from national to general, so that the president who they say is the president general should be the president general, should not be the national, but taking the appellation of the general, but performing the function of a national. So that the kudu should be, because people have called me and are expressing this opinion that they should harmonize and make it global or general, that they should form a council of different branches, the US, the Europe, the Northern America, if you will, the Europe, the Asia, Douala, Yaoundé, the rest, all these presidents should form a council. Then within that council, they should form an executive so that they can pilot the activities of the Kudu. And I think one thing that the diaspora too is also saying is that they contribute maybe majority of the financial support. They must have a say. I mean, it is just by natural. It's just by nature. Go and read about World Health Organization. Go and read about United Nations Organization. A chunk of it sponsor is the US. They have greater part of the say. So it is just but normal that people need to accept this. You cannot sit in Cameroon, or people cannot be in Cameroon and think that they will have power to control when people send money. By the way, the law in the US, if you send money, you have to show how that money is being used. Right? Even when I send money to compensate people that are carrying for their travel allowances, I have to put it on the law. You know how we work internally.
Of course.
505. So at the end, when you are filing your taxes, the tax of Gaza Media to IRS, they need to be clear. If the diaspora is sending money home, people in Cameroon may not understand this. But when I was speaking to the former CEO, yeah, he was explaining, but these are things that I know. I'm just saying it that is the same law. If you send money for a project, they need to account for that money for that project. And you need to generate a report that reflects that work. So that when the auditor come tomorrow to audit you, your record should be clear. What the US is afraid from what they are saying is they may give money back home to go do a project. They might deviate it and go do something else there. They may not have proper record. And they are not there to follow up to make sure that they are doing what they are doing. Then now, if they love the status here in the US, then it becomes a problem.
Okay. No, it's true that you have always been on air, but before I let you go, can you just say shout out to some few people, or can you just give a message out to our viewers?
Yeah, I just want to say I encourage people to keep watching Gaza Media. To err is man. We will make error. I cannot sit here and say we are 100% perfect. We commit our error, but no threat. If you like, you call me and talk indirectly. Send me any threat message, or send me a text message or anything. I will remain neutral. I report the news the way I see it, regardless of what will happen. So, but I want to encourage partnership, especially with community organizations like Legda USA, Lokudu USA, ECTA USA, and many other villages organizations that are out there, so that we can continue to, bring development, shine the light to our people, right? Those that have businesses, partner with Gaza Media so that we'll have a little bit of compensation to keep the office or to keep the platform running, to be able to send the news out to you. And before I forget, I think the CEO of the Kudu USA will be making this announcement of the hair campaign that is going to take place in GA. That will be next month. I think it's around the 9th. I'm not very sure about the date, but the CEO is coming out to make an official. The flyer is already out there. I think he will come out and maybe explain a little bit more. They had a wonderful fundraising last night in Boston, Massachusetts. The report has come to me. Over 36,000 was raised to continue to support the road project and many other activity in the bank. I think this is a wonderful thing that people are doing out here. We are following those stories. We'll continue to update our viewers. Please, the other thing, if there's nothing I can do for Gaza Media, subscribe, share the link to many viewers. It will have many people viewing Gaza Media. The more Gaza Media become popular, the more the BLM become popular in the landmark, so that any news that will put it out there, people will be able to know what is happening. But if you don't share the content, if we are not known, then when we report news, nobody will know you. And nobody else is coming to report your own news. So we are there for you. You should also be there for yourself. So it's a win-win approach. Thank you, Gide, for taking the time to talk to me this morning. I want to say a happy Sunday to everyone and stay tuned to Gaza Media for more update. Yeah, I think the network is, I think they have the issue of network. Okay, I think we've finally come to the end of this program. Because of the network issue, I will just wrap it up here. Thank you and see you next time as we come on air.
Mario! Mutama! Boy!